I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and today's question comes from friend of the program and all-around delight, Jamie, who wants to know what I make of a recent trend found amongst the quote-unquote very online of taking rather quotidian, benign aspects of culture and twisting them to more resemble the elements of my story, what I refer to as the Eldritch creep. The example that Jamie gives is of many permutations of the popular song Jolene by Dolly Parton, wherein the titular character Jolene is transformed from being a mere romantic rival or potential sapphic obsession and instead becomes something altogether other and blasphemous, beyond the ken of mortal man, or indeed of sanity itself. You know, my jam. But this has been seen in other places as well. People have taken Santa Claus and made him an avatar of Nyarlathotep, or have decided that the My Little Ponies can best be understood as an experiment of the Migo. The examples go on and on. And I think there are a few things going on with the Eldritch creep. The first is the simple matter that it's amusing to juxtapose disparate things, taking something that's rather sweet or well-known and then twisting it into something dark and obscene. Well, that's funny. I don't care who you are. But there is something else, I think, at play here, and it has to do with the particular era in which we find ourselves. This is a time of great tumult and anxiety. There are fears about pandemics, about the rise of authoritarianism, about a world on fire with no seeming way to put it out. Indeed, in many ways, and I've commented on this before, it reminds me of what it was like to be alive during the early 20th century. That the promise of modernity with all of its wonders had been betrayed by the horrors of chemical warfare and the trenches. And I think similarly we find ourselves in this particular decade feeling as if all the various institutions that we came to trust in instead are letting us down. There's something dark and corrupted at the heart of what was held up as keeping chaos at bay. And in light of that, I think it is no surprise then that people would look to what was previously viewed as harmless or delightful and find something dark and sinister at its heart. You have to remember, it was during the early 20th century that we found ourselves suddenly dealing with absurdism and Dadaism and all these other artistic expressions because, well, we didn't know what was coming next. And I think we're in a similar place here. But that doesn't mean we should give up hope. No, indeed, to quote a wise man, I think when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. And so my suggestion to you is to lean into this zeitgeist. Make weird art. Write weird stories. And above all, make sure you get paid for it. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.